Hi, I'm Tim Overhill with Barrett Firearms. We're here today to give you a brief tutorial about your new Barrett rifle. This is aimed at those who have a severe allergy to owner's manuals. This is just enough to get you to get the gun out of the box, get it together, get you on your way to the range.
Okay, here we have the Barrett REC7 rifle. It's a 6.8 SPC variation of the original Stoner design. It's product improved by Barrett Manufacturing by including the use of a gas piston versus the original gas impingement design. Before we start working on it, we're going to take some precautions that you would use on any rifle by first making sure that it's unloaded. We're going to do that by pulling back on the charging handle here, pressing down on the bolt catch to lock the bolt to the rear, visually looking into the chamber area and also physically checking the chamber area to make sure there's no live ammunition in the gun. Once we've done that, the gun's safe to work on. First thing we're going to do is separate the upper receiver from the lower receiver. In order to do that, we're going to pull back on the charging handle once again, let the bolt slide forward, and then we need to push through the front hinge pin and the rear lock pin in order to separate the two halves. On a newer gun, these pins might be a little stiff at first. On a gun that's been used a few times, they tend to loosen up with a bit of use. If the pins on your gun are a little tight, use of a pin punch or even a pen or a cartridge tip can frequently assist you in that. Once those pins are pulled through, you just lift off the upper receiver from the lower receiver. And now we're going to work on the upper receiver. The main thing that you need to be concerned about is the bolt carrier group. In order to access that, we're going to pull the charging handle about halfway out. And once you have that out, you can just grasp the bolt carrier here that becomes exposed, slide that to the rear, and the whole assembly comes out. To finish stripping the upper receiver, pull the charging handle out, and now we can access the gas system. In order to do that, we need to push in this detent pin right here. You can use your finger for that, or if it's cold or you have big fingers, you can use the tip of the pen or the tip of a bullet cartridge. Just rotate the gas plug here 180 degrees, the flat is facing down, and the plug will pop out right on its own. Once you've done that, the gas piston should slide out on its own. And that's all you need to do to field strip the upper receiver for maintenance. To further break this down for maintenance, the first thing you need to do is pull this pin out right here. This is the firing pin retaining pin. It's a cotter type pin, split pin. That pulls out. Once you've done that, just tap the carrier and the firing pin should fall out on its own. If not, you can pull it out. Once you've done that, we're going to go to the cam pin here, rotate that 90 degrees. That lifts straight out. At this point, you can pull a bolt straight out the front. For most cleaning, this is all you'll need to do. Every few thousand rounds, I like to take the extractor out in order to clean under that. With the REC7, the rifle tends to run cleaner than most AR-15 type rifles. It's not as critical, but in order to do that, it's very simple. You can take your firing pin if you don't have a punch, and just by putting a little bit of tension on the back part of the extractor right here, you can take the tension off the retaining pin and just push that through, and then you can just pull it out from the other side. And then you can just lift the extractor off. And this exposes that in the firing pin channel so that you can clean it. Just one thing to note, on 5.56 type bolts, there's just one round larger spring in this area. Just take note that on the REC7, this is a 6.8 bolt and it's got two smaller springs right here that tension the extractor. So just be very careful that when you have this apart, not to lose these two small springs. As far as cleaning the bolt, a nylon or a brass bristle brush is handy for cleaning the locking lugs here. These lugs are where the bolt locks into the receiver. These do get dirty, so clean those at any chance that you get. As far as cleaning the bolt carrier itself, compressed air, gun scrubber, some other similar product, and Q-tips are your friend here. You want to be able to get where the bolt rides. You want to clean out the cam pin slot here. There's no key on this carrier to worry about. What I mean by that is this part here on gas impingement guns is bolted to the carrier. On the REC7, this piece is machined into the carrier and it's one piece. And there's no gas that's flowing through it because this is the direct gas system, and this is the point where the gas rod impacts the carrier to operate the action.